For baby cat, the world was a canvas of small, perfect wonders. On this particular morning, the masterpiece was a rain-slicked puddle shimmering under a peach-gold dawn. A family of sparrows had claimed it as their bathhouse, and baby cat sat on the sun-warmed windowsill, her tiny ginger body coiled in absolute stillness, her emerald eyes unblinking. One fledgling, braver than its siblings, danced at the water's edge, fluffing its feathers with comical vigor. Baby cat's own tail tip flicked once, a silent, sympathetic echo of the bird's joy. Inside, the air was thick with the warm, earthy scent of yeast and flour. Mama Cat, a broad-shouldered vision of calm strength, worked at the heavy oak table. Her powerful paws, dusted white, pressed and folded a pliant mound of dough with a rhythm as old and steady as a heartbeat. Thump, turn, press. It was a ritual of peace, the foundation of their quiet world. Sunlight streamed through the window, catching motes of flour that danced like golden dust around her. She hummed a voiceless tune, a vibration felt more than heard. Then the wind changed. A mischievous gust, fresh from the distant woods, tore down the garden path. It ruffled the wet sparrows, scattering them with indignant chirps. The bold fledgling midshake was caught like a leaf. It tumbled, a blur of panicked wings, and was thrown sharply against the diamond-shaped pane of the cottage window. Thud. The sound was small, soft, and utterly final against the morning's chorus. Baby cat flinched as if struck, her perfect stillness shattered. She scrambled backwards off the sill, paws sliding, and bolted through the small cat door in a blur of frantic ginger. In seconds, she was below the window, standing on her hind legs, her nose just clearing the cold stone ledge. There it lay, a crumpled heap of brown and grey, one wing splayed beneath it at a cruel, unnatural angle. A single, downy feather detached and pirouetted in the dying breeze. Baby cat's breath caught in a tiny, sharp gasp. Her whole world narrowed to that broken thing, with a tenderness that made her paws seem suddenly much older. She reached up and carefully, so carefully, gathered the sparrow into a cradle of her tiny palms. She felt it, then a faint, frantic flutter against her skin, a heartbeat like a trapped whisper. Clutching it to the soft fur of her chest, she turned, her eyes wide pools of stricken appeal, and sought the one anchor in her suddenly tilted universe. Mama Cat had seen everything. The dough lay forgotten. She had witnessed the gust, the impact, and the immediate fracture in her child's innocent day. Wiping her paws methodically on her flour-smeared apron, she moved not with haste, but with profound purpose. She met baby cat at the door, and her gaze did not first go to the bird. It settled on baby cat's face, reading the story written there in trembling whiskers and shimmering eyes. It was a story of first contact with life's fragile edge. Mama Cat gave one slow, deep nod. It said, "I see. I am here." Without a sound, she gestured with her chin towards the hearth, where the remnants of last night's fire still glowed with a deep, reassuring amber heart. Together, they fashioned a nest in a basket lined with soft wool from Mama Cat's own knitting. Baby cat held the sparrow steady, feeling its rapid, shallow breaths against her thumb. Mama cat leaned in, her whiskers twitching as she assessed the damage. Her movements were not those of a gardener or a baker now, but of a physician. From her mending basket, she selected 2 straight twigs, no thicker than a claw, and a strip of linen so soft it was almost a cloud. Her work was a silent ballet of precision. She aligned the tiny bone, her touch feather-light, secured the splints, and began to wind the linen bandage. Each loop was deliberate, a promise woven in thread. Baby cat watched, her own breath held, her entire being poured into the act of witnessing this miracle of repair. The rhythm of their days shifted into a quiet, focused vigil. The basket by the hearth became the center of Baby Cat's cosmos. She learned patience, sitting for hours, observing the slow, steady return of strength. She learned gentleness, dripping water from a ceramic thimble onto the bird's beak. She learned diligence, crushing the plumpest sunflower seeds into a paste with a smooth riverstone. Her playful pounces and chaotic chases were replaced by a solemn, tender custody. Mama Cat observed this metamorphosis while sweeping floors and stirring soups. She began leaving offerings by the basket, a bowl of the freshest water, a sprig of millet tied with string. Her teachings were now in actions, not gestures showing how to be still, how to care, how to hope. And in those quiet moments, Baby Cat was learning that to mend something broken, you must first give it a safe place to heal. After a week, the sparrow whom Baby Cat had named Pip in the private language of her heart was hopping along the basket's rim. Its splinted wing was held close, but its black eyes were bright and fierce. On a morning drenched in crystalline sunlight, Mama Cat placed a fat, wriggling earthworm in the basket. Pip devoured it with gusto. Then Mama Cat did the hardest thing. She caught Baby Cat's gaze and pointed a firm, unwavering paw at the wide-open window. The understanding that passed between them was a complex chord joy laced with the piercing sweetness of loss. Baby Cat's chin wobbled, but she swallowed the lump in her throat. She had learned this too, that love is not a cage, but an open window. She carried the basket to the sill, lifting Pip into her cupped palms for the last time. She felt the confident grip of its tiny feet, the eager tilt of its head toward the vast sky. She raised her paws like an offering. Pip paused, turning to look at her with one gleaming eye. A farewell. Then, with a powerful whir of mended muscle, it pushed off. The flight was not graceful, but it was true a low, determined arc to the safety of the blossoming apple tree. A chorus of raucous, welcoming chirps erupted from the branches. Baby Cat's empty paws remained uplifted for a long moment, feeling the new, hollow space where a tiny heartbeat had once resonated. The absence ached, a silent testament to the love she had given that evening. As twilight painted the garden in shades of lavender and deep blue, Mama Cat brought 2 steaming cups of chamomile tea to the windowsill. She sat a solid, warm presence beside her kitten, who stared silently at the apple tree. Their quiet was not empty. It was full of the day's profound lesson. A small, familiar silhouette zipped past the window pip, following its family to their nightly roost. Baby cat didn't startle. A slow, deep sigh escaped her, a sigh that carried away the last of her worry and left only a quiet awe in its wake. She leaned her small body curving naturally into the solid comfort of Mama Cat's side, resting her head against the soft fur of her shoulder. Mama Cat lowered her cheek, resting it gently on top of Baby Cat's head, her own eyes closed in a moment of perfect peace. Outside, the first stars pricked through the velvet sky, mirroring the soft, proud glow in Mama Cat's eyes as she held her kitten both mender and mended safe in the unshakable harbor of home. This story reminds us that even the smallest hands can do great things, and that the deepest love is often shown by knowing when to let go. Thank you for joining us on this heartwarming journey. If you enjoyed the story of Baby Cat and Mama Cat, please subscribe to our channel for more tales that warm the heart. We'll see you next time.